Welcome back to the Means Report. We appreciate you all staying with us. Thanks again to Father Biddy for a wealth of information about St. Paul's Episcopal Church. It's going to be a huge day on November 9th. Hopefully you can go check it out. Now we're going to check out a service that is available to former workers at the Savannah River site who may have become sick. It's a way to help them navigate the sometimes complicated world of healthcare. The group that helps them do that is CNS Cares. And we're going to find out how people can take advantages of the resources that are out there. So let me welcome our special guests right now. First of all, we have Rebecca Quinn. Rebecca is the General Manager of CNS Cares. Thanks for being here. John Ford, Business Development Manager. John, thanks for your presence. And Paige Rivera, appreciate you being here as well, also in the world of business development. GM Rebecca, let me talk with you and just help give people an idea of who can qualify for y'all's services. Is there a typical client, first of all? And second of all, do they have to have worked at SRS a certain number of years to get your services?
Well, as you said, they are retired or former workers of Savannah Riverside. They have a diagnosis that is directly related to their work at the site. There can be a minimal amount of years. You know, it depends on the diagnosis and what their claims, you know, that we are reporting on, you know, that they do, that we work through.
Sure.
It can vary from 6 months, you know, to years. Just depends on what diagnosis we're trying to get covered so that they receive care, and that care can be anywhere from vitals monitoring, medication management, to light housekeeping, any skilled nursing services or home care services that we can provide.
Paige, I wanted to ask you this. How do people prove, and Rebecca pretty much touched on it because it stems from an official diagnosis, but how do you prove SRS made you sick?
So the good news is that people don't have to prove it themselves. What they'll do is generally get associated with an organization such as ourselves, who will put them in contact with an authorized representative. That's someone who helps them build their claims. Mm-hmm. They can file the claims themselves, but it's a cumbersome, lengthy process. So most people choose to use an authorized representative. And then it's a matter of pulling medical records, pulling employment records, and it's almost you become a detective. This AR works on your behalf to become a detective in that sense. Put the claim together, file it, and then you wait. Sometimes it can take 18 months or so to receive a response. But it's not up to you to prove it. It's up to you to gather all the records and then make the case.
John, this assistance comes from the Department of Labor. Rebecca talked about some of the in-home services that are provided. What else can people expect to get if everything is approved and everything checks out?
Right. I tell people a lot of times when I meet with them, there's two buckets. There's the money bucket over there. So if you qualify for Part B, you can be guaranteed $150,000 lump sum. And then over in Part E, it's up to $250,000.
Wait, these people get cash money, not just a nurse in their house?
Correct.
Wow.
That's what a lot of people don't realize. So, and it's not guaranteed. We tell people it's up to $400,000, but that $250,000 is based on an impairment rating, and every 1% they get of the 100% would equal $250,000. So we help them, you know, with the AR, like we talked about for the white card. That's what their job is. Then that's when they call us when they receive that, so we can come in and do the in-home care. So that's where really I feel like money's great. You can use it while you have it, or give it to somebody or bless others with it. But I think the biggest piece to me is the in-home care part, where we can hire their loved one to be their caregiver. So if you're married and you're already doing the work anyway, now we can bless you. And then we would bring our nursing in to do the nursing part on there. And that can be all the way up to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
What's that look like day to day, Rebecca? Is it the family member is trained to do certain tasks for the patient? And then as John mentioned, you have the medical crew in there as well. What are they doing inside my house?
Well, the family member is already doing basic care, you know, dressing, preparing meals, housekeeping, and we just bring them on and give them a little extra orientation to what they're doing, a little more education, and empower them. You know, caregiver burnout is a real thing, and to have our support there offers them, like I said, the education and the support that they need to do their tasks. Our nursing staff comes in and can do anywhere from medication management to basic skilled care to vital sign management, and just oversees and assesses regularly for when there may be a decline, and then more hours may be needed in the home, more services.
Do the nurses and others come each day? Do they sometimes stay overnight? How's that work?
So it depends on what coverage each patient is given. Like Paige spoke about with the claims process, it very much helps to have someone with a clinical background to process your claims and file for you, because they can connect your diagnosis, your exposure at the site, to the diagnosis that you have, and fight for more hours for you. So sometimes a nurse comes in every day for someone with more serious ailments, and some individuals are just unfortunately been recently diagnosed. And so, the severity isn't necessarily there yet. So the nurse may check in once a week. And then, you do have individuals that know what they want their care to look like. They only want the nurse to check in once a week.
Right,
and,
they don't want them
and
every
we
day.
work with them and kind of, help them know we are here, use our services. It's only going to last. It's only going to add to your quality of life.
Paige, what if somebody was a contractor or subcontractor at the site? They didn't have a full-time job there. Can they get help from y'all?
Most of the employees who were out there worked for a contractor or subcontractor, so that's very common. 250 days is the minimum amount of days that anyone would have had to have worked in order to qualify for benefits for most of these diagnoses. So, and if they leave employment and then come back, that is added. It's a cumulative amount of time. But yes, that's fine. Yes.
Where do you get, John, your medical teams? Rebecca was talking about the services they provide in your home. Where do these folks come from? Is it maybe extra money for them when they get off work at the hospital?
Yeah, it could be. It depends on the number of hours the person gets. So we hire local folks in the area. So we're on the Georgia side and the South Carolina side. So we're always looking for good nurses and LPNs to add to our team. So if somebody does want to pick up some extra hours, that's great. And then some of them are fortunate enough that we have patients that need those hours. They're full-time for us.
So what's the first step, Rebecca, for someone to see if they qualify? Do they call CNS Cares? Do they go to the website? And I know we'll be able to put a lot of this information up on our screen, but how do they say, man, I love what these folks are talking about. I'd like to take advantage.
Definitely reach out on our website, and you give us a call and let us know that you've worked at SRS. Maybe you don't even have a firm diagnosis. You suspect that there's you have a concern and it's connected to your work at the site. You don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So give us a call and ask us.
What kind of ailments do you see? Is it cancers, breathing problems? What do you see?
Those are the top ones. It's funny you said that, Brad. So there's a lot of different cancers out there. So pretty much you got breast cancer, skin cancer is a huge one. Obviously, they were exposed to a lot of radiation and different things out there. So if you had that, definitely give us a call. And then COPD is probably one of the other most popular one, pulmonary fibrosis. So there's a bunch of different ones out there. So don't try to, this one's not going to qualify or not. Let us help you decide that.
Let y'all do it.
Exactly. Respiratory, cardiac, and cancers tend to be the top three. But like John's saying, don't leave the guessing up to yourselves. Give us a call and let us guide you through that.
Paige, how long does it take from the time somebody does reach out and make that connection with CNS Cares for them to get a yes or no?
It depends.
Yeah.
That's the easy
it could
answer.
Days, months, years.
We could be talking from beginning to end. We can be talking 18 months from application through to approval or denial. It's a lengthy process. It can be.
Rebecca, what kind of turnover do you see in the nursing staff and others who are in the home? Is it the same familiar faces with each visit, or should the patient be prepared for some turnover where it's not the same person all the time?
We absolutely strive for continuity with our healthcare teams. Most of our homes see the same nurse for years. Our turnover rate is not high. We are very blessed in that, because that can be very much a problem in the healthcare sector. But we are very lucky. Even our caregivers, are very passionate about what they do.
Yeah.
And these are workers that have sacrificed, for all of us and the nuclear stability of our country. And so we're all in it for them, and we've been blessed with a great staff with, usually the same nurses are there for a while.
Yeah, John, I guess that lets them sometimes form a pretty powerful connection between patient and caregiver.
It does. I think that's important for the families to know who's coming into your home. And then we also have care managers. We hadn't even talked about that. So that's really neat. So everybody gets assigned. If you're on the Georgia side, you get one. If you're on the South Carolina side, you get an individual. And they're really the ones that help stay on top of things and making sure that your nurses and caregivers and everything, because not everybody does have a loved one. To just let you know, if you aren't married or don't have a child or somebody that can there, we can send in a CNA for you.
It sounds like y'all have just everything covered, and it's such a wonderful service for these sweet patients out there. Paige, my last question is to you, and it's just, can what CNS Cares does help people stay in their homes longer? And have you ever witnessed what y'all services do to somebody who perhaps is in a really dark place until y'all show up?
I am so glad you asked that. Yes. So we're very passionate, like Rebecca said. We believe that these are nuclear heroes, and we treat them as such. One patient comes to mind. She's a woman who was younger than I am, developed breast cancer, was still struggling with the after effects of chemo and radiation, was very proud, very humble. And the whole time we talked, she insisted that she didn't need help. And I said, with all due respect, the whole time we've been talking, you've mentioned that basket over there of receipts that you haven't been able to get to file, thousands of dollars of expenses that you haven't been able to file to be reimbursed. If I could bring caregivers in that would help you with healthy meal prep, going on Pinterest and helping you come up with recipes that you and your wife can cook, exercise plans, that type thing, to alleviate those from your plate, would you be able to get to that basket of receipts? She said yes, and I said, then you need our help.
Wow. Well, I'm sure there are countless other stories like that, Paige. I appreciate you sharing that. And again, I appreciate what you all do. If you need healthcare assistance or if you need financial assistance, give CNS Cares a call. Thank you all for your time. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. When we come back, we will show you how you can help us get more great guests like these on the Means Report.